everybody. We are making a Valentine's decoration today for you to hang up in your home. The materials that you're going to need for this activity is your sticky contact paper with 3 different hearts traced onto it. And you should have a little bag of all your different tissue paper squares with a string of yarn. You might need a grown-up to help you for this activity, and you're also going to need some scissors. So make sure you have all of those materials, bring them back over to the table, and we're going to get started making a beautiful heart sun catcher today. All right, boys and girls, now that you have your materials, we're going to work on covering the sticky part of our contact paper and making sure that we fill in all the parts inside of our hearts. We're going to be cutting these out, so it's okay if it goes over a little bit, but try not to cover all this other space. You're going to need to have a grown-up help you peel back your sticky contact paper. So it should be just like this. Parents, only do half of your child's contact paper. That way they're not sticking tissue paper on both sides. And now all I want you to do is to take one piece of tissue paper at a time, any colors that you want, and you're going to stick them over your heart. And remember, you can use all one color or you can use different colors, however you want to make your sun catcher. So go ahead and work on covering that up, and then when you're done, come on back and I'll show you what we're gonna do next. When you're using our sticky paper, you can, as soon as you put a piece down, you can't lift it back up, as if you try to move it, it will rip. So make sure you know where you want to put your piece before you put it down, because if you try to pick it back up, it might rip off. Okay, I got all 3 of my hearts covered with their tissue paper, and see, I still have extra sticky spots, but I didn't do those because it's outside of my black heart lines. So now the next part you might need a grown-up for, we're going to fold up the 2 sticky parts before we start cutting. So slowly peel this back, and then you're gonna just slowly connect those 2 halves and press it down as flat as you can make it. If you have some bumps in it, that's okay. See, I got a big bump in mine. After you have connected both of your parts, you're going to cut them out all the way around the lines for your hearts. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We all make mistakes. See, even Mrs. Tackett messes up sometimes, and that's okay. It will still look beautiful when I hang it in the window. All right, when you're done, you should have 3 hearts that are all different sizes. I have 1 big heart, 1 medium heart, and 1 small heart. Now you can decide how you want to hang your hearts. You can hang them in order from biggest to smallest, or maybe you want to do smallest to biggest, or maybe you want to mix it up. However you want to hang your hearts, you can decide. What we need to do before we hang them is we need to punch some holes in our hearts. I think I'm going to start with my big heart at the top. If you have a hole punch, you can use that, or you can always just poke a hole through there, parents. So I'm going to punch a couple of holes. And you'll need 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom of each of your hearts. And then whatever heart you're going to have on the bottom is only going to need 1 hole right at the top. Now you're going to use your piece of string to tie all of your hearts together. And then at the top, you're going to make a loop so that you can hang it up. And again, you can decide how much space you want to have in between each of your hearts. I'm going to start at the very top with my hanger, and I'm just going to pull it through and just tie it in a knot. And now I'm going to do the same thing for all of the rest of my holes. So I'm going to put it through the bottom and then through the top. Parents, this is more for you to kind of complete, to put your child's pieces together. You can have them cut out the length of the string that they want, but then you can help them tie, unless your child is capable of tying things and knows how to tie knots. Otherwise, I do suggest that you just help your child with this part. All right, and when you are all done, you can take your hearts and hang them up in the window and watch as the sun shines through and sees all the beautiful colors that you put into your hearts. I hope you enjoyed today's activity, boys and girls, and I'll see you next time.